All we are asking, President Tinubu, stop the killings in the country. You blame Jonathan for the killing. And why I'm saying this is because the buck stops with you.
Issued by U.S. President Donald Trump of a possible invasion to wipe out terrorists killing Christians in Nigeria. Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, in a post on X, stated that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has always been concerned about the protracted war against terror in Nigeria, which is why he appointed new service chiefs. Ononuga shared a video showing when Tinubu charged the service chiefs during their declaration of service to launch renewed effort in stamping out the twin problems of terrorism. Let's take a look.
I charge you as the head of our nation's armed forces to carry out your duties with patriotic zeal Nigerians expect result and not excuses. We are in a hurry to celebrate peace. I charge you also to be innovative, preemptive, and courageous. Let's stay ahead of those who seek to threaten our peace, freedom, and stability. Let us deploy technology where necessary. We cannot allow the crisis that began in year 2009 to persist any longer. It is time to defeat the enemies. I wish you the best. I advise you to work together as a team. Compare notes, exchange your information effectively and follow up proactively. Work with other security agencies and defeat this enemy once and for all. We need to clean them up, clear them out. I promise to provide all support you need to get the job done.
Well, this is all coming amid the heightened diplomatic tension between Nigeria and the United States over allegations of a Christian genocide in Nigeria. The presidency appears to be highlighting the steps already being taken to address terrorism and insecurity, with the new service chiefs positioned as evidence of the administration's commitment to tackling these issues. Well, we all know that over the weekend, social media was awash with reactions after U.S. President Donald Trump issued a stark warning to the Nigerian government, instructing the United States Department of War to prepare for possible action to wipe out terrorists in Nigeria. Well, Trump posted that warning on Truth Social. And of course, I'm sure a lot of people have seen it, but I'd like to read it for the benefit of our viewers. Trump wrote, "If the Nigerian government continues to allow killing of Christians, the USA will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria and may very well go into that now disgraced country, guns a-blazing, to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible atrocities. I'm hereby instructing our Department of War to prepare for possible action. If we attack, it will be fast, vicious, and sweet, just like the terrorist thugs attacked our cherished Christians. Warning, the Nigerian government better move fast." And you know, that's the actual post that got a lot of reactions on social media. Ayo Rufai, Dr. Abati. And we know that this post is coming just a day after Trump designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern over allegations of Christian genocide. Well, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has already rejected this designation, maintaining that Nigeria remains a democracy with constitutional guarantees of freedom of religion. The strength of American military action has sparked widespread debate about sovereignty, security challenges, and the path forward for Nigeria's relationship with the United States. And I'll take activist Omoyele Showore's tweet. If we can pull up that tweet, if we have that. All right. Showore wrote on X, "The latest threat by U.S. President Donald Trump to launch military action in Nigeria, allegedly to protect Christians, may sound appealing to some. Still, History has shown this to be perilous. Whether you are Christian, Muslim, animist, or non-religious, no one should celebrate such rhetoric. The United States and its allies have a long record of military interventions that leave nations more unstable than before. They failed to secure peace in Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, or Syria. And they won't bring salvation to Nigeria through bombs or boots on the ground. What Nigeria truly needs is not a foreign savior, but legitimate, accountable leadership, one that protects all citizens, upholds justice, and ends the cycles of corruption and violence that have left the nation broken. Donald Trump does not care about Nigerians, not Christians, Muslims, or anyone else. Our deliverance will never come from abroad. It must come from within, through real leadership, not the Tinubus of the world, and national renewal. Hashtag revolution now. Another ex-user, actually, this is a WhatsApp comment which, went all over WhatsApp. If you can pull up that comment at this moment. This person wrote on WhatsApp, which has been shared many times. He wrote, I don't know why there are misinterpretations of Trump's message. Trump did not threaten to attack Nigeria or effect regime change, as America did in other countries, Iraq, etc. Nigeria is a democracy and should not be compared with Gaddafi's Libya, Assad's Syria, or Saddam's Iraq. Trump's message is clear: to come into Nigeria and completely wipe out the terrorists who are committing these atrocities. America has a rich history of tackling terrorists and their sponsors to any country and killing them without the knowledge of the host country. US did it in Pakistan, where they took out Osama bin Laden and his bodyguards without even the knowledge of Pakistani government. Trump did it in Iraq, when US assassinated Iranian General Qasem Soleimani. In 2020, if you all remember, Trump's message implied that the US military has the capacity to come into Nigeria and smoke out Turji Bello and his fighters. We, as a people, thrive in conspiracy theories, play politics with human lives, dismiss insecurity as a global challenge, defend leaders who's stuck in trade, is issuing condolence messages to commiserate with victims of insecurity from their heavily guarded fortresses. Our leaders and military generals should be made to understand that we can't continue to live with this embarrassing level of insecurity, which they condone just to attract fat annual defense budgets. Well, Trump's warning was reverberated worldwide. A member of the European Parliament from Poland, Dominik Trasinski, posted a video featuring a dramatic simulation of the potential US military invasion set to a soundtrack of the Lord's Prayer with the caption, "Nigerian Christians will soon be rescued." Let's take a look.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
It says Department of War right there, Ayo. But of course, Trump's post defending Christians, a lot of Christians have reacted, including Nicki Minaj. And I would read Nicki Minaj's tweet before I come to you, Ayo. If we can pull up Nicki Minaj's tweet, she wrote, reading this made me feel a deep sense of gratitude. We live in a country where we can freely worship God. No group should ever be persecuted for practicing their religion. We don't have to share the same beliefs in order for us to respect each other. Numerous countries around the world are being affected by this horror. It's dangerous to pretend we don't notice. Thank you to the president and his team for taking this seriously. God bless every persecuted Christian. Let's remember to lift them up in our prayer. Ayo.
All right, okay. So a lot of times, the danger of a single story is that you might respond to something that you don't have a deep knowledge of. And so what Nicki Minaj was responding to was the US's perspective of what's happening in Nigeria, which is in very little, it's hyperbolic. Yes, are people being, killed? Are people being attacked? Absolutely true. And the government has even continued to speak about that, saying that what we have is a challenge, a security challenge, and terrorism, which has plagued the nation for 15 years. And so, that's on that note. But in speaking to the entirety of this story, Oji, what we've consistently said is that it's unfortunate that it's taking the US coming out to speak for Nigeria, for the Nigerian government to take what has been spoken about a number of times back home here in Nigeria seriously. How many times have we heard cries from Christians in the Middle Belt, especially in Plateau, Jos, in some parts of Benue, in the Northeast as well? Muslims and Nigerians who have been killed. Several times we have reported stories like this.
All right.
We have not seen as much response as this. Maybe
Right.
this might be an opportunity for us to deal decisively.
No, you can continue. I just wanted to just stop you in that track, speaking about a lot of videos or even the priests that have come out in the Plateau. We have a video of this Pastor Dachemo, who actually released it yesterday. If we can pull up that video while you speak. It's a video of this priest who went to Plateau State to show proof of the Christian massacre and the Christian that have been killed in Plateau State. In one day, over 501 people were killed in Plateau State. So these are some of the data that you would see that be circulating on social media.
Absolutely.
That these,
as I said, we have been talking about this for a long time. Unfortunately, it seemed like the Nigerian government had turned a blind eye to it. However, let us take this opportunity to now respond, because I think the response was too hasty, hence then the counter response by the US president. But the first thing is diplomatic and security response. Diplomatically, let us continue to open that channel of communication and conversation with the United States. This is not the time to be the propaganda and lies and trying to save face. Let us be able to speak to the issues and present facts, counterfacts. If the same Christians are being killed, let's produce counterfacts to that effect. The next thing would then be on, of course, security. The best response to the United States allegations of Christian genocide is to ensure that Christians are protected and to ensure that even all Nigerian lives matter. Whether it's one person or any Nigerian, Christian, Muslim, we've talked about that a number of times, that any Nigerian has the right to life, so that we don't become desensitized when we hear another person has been killed and we just say, oh, somebody else has been killed.
Well said.
This is one lesson for us.
Well said. Well, meanwhile, the Islamic movement in Nigeria, under the leadership of Ibrahim Zazaki, has rejected Trump's allegations of a Christian genocide. In a statement on Saturday, Abdullahi Danladi of the movement's Resource Forum described the allegations as false, inflammatory, and dangerous, arguing that Nigeria's crisis is moral and political, not religious. Danladi stressed that both Muslims and Christians have suffered equally from terrorism, banditry, and attacks, pointing to corruption, greed, and elite manipulation as the true causes of the insecurity. The movement warned that such narratives serve Western propaganda interests, aiming to divide Nigerians and justify foreign interference. I mean, we can see that this Trump's genocide allegations continue to generate pushbacks from various quarters in Nigeria, with the Islamic movement becoming the latest group to reject the narrative. Dr. Abati, a quick comment, and I'll come to this story.
Okay. Genocide is a very specific word. We have the Genocide Convention of 1948, and what it means in that document is about specific targeting of populations to eliminate them. And under that convention, every country has an obligation to protect the population and to prevent genocide. So when President Trump says genocide in Nigeria against Christians, the question to ask, I think we're all Christians here on this table, except perhaps maybe Rufia Oseni.
Rufia is not a Christian?
Well, maybe he has a Muslim background, I guess.
Okay.
You know. But the question is, even
I
as
have a Muslim background, which I'm proud of. But I'm a
yeah,
Christian.
so even as amphibious as you are, Muslim and Christian, do you feel threatened as a Muslim? Do you feel threatened as a Christian? Ayo is a Christian. Do you feel that you are being persecuted?
In Lagos here,
do you
absolutely
feel that you
not.
are being persecuted?
In Lagos here,
I
no.
don't feel that
But
I'm
you
being
don't
persecuted.
know what
Lagos is not a bellwether.
Yes.
That's what I'm
This is Lagos. If you're asking me,
No. But our
can't
point
ask me
is
that
that
question
there
in
is a
isolation,
problem.
yes.
There is a problem of insecurity
Yes,
that
that's
is
the biggest
general.
problem, yes.
And what the Geneva Convention says is that government has a responsibility to protect everybody, to make sure that people are not targeted. And that's why I say this should be a wake-up call for the Nigerian government, that there is a lot more that needs to be done in terms of security for everyone, whether Muslim, animist, or Christian, which is the same point that Showore has made.
Right.
Now, the Islamist movement, El Zakizaki group, that they even have problems with, the government.
They've come up with that
they are
statement,
saying
yes.
that, look, both Christians and Muslims, we are in all of this together. And I've said that the Tinubu government needs support, and adults in the country should come to the rescue and support the government. And that 3, religious leaders, they've been speaking up. We have had a statement, is it from Bishop Oyedepo?
It was from Pastor Wale Adefarasi.
Pastor Wale Adefarasi, Bishop Oyedepo, Gio, the General Overseer of Redeemed Church, the Sultan of Sokoto, Bishop Matthew Kuka, all of them, Cardinal Francis Onayeka, all of these people should come and speak and support the government. But government has the responsibility to make this country safe.
And this is the main point.
That's the bottom line.
Idea of making Nigeria safe is really what we should be pushing here on this table. Rufai, before I come to you, meanwhile, in a now trending video, U.S. Congressman Scott Perry made an explosive allegation about American foreign aid, claiming that the United States Agency for International Development funded the Boko Haram terror group, which has carried out devastating attacks across Nigeria, Cameroon, Niger, and Chad. Let's take a look.
Because your money, $697 million annually, plus the shipments of cash funds madrasas, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, ISIS Khorasan, terrorist training camps. That's what it's funding. If you think that the program under Operation Enduring Sentinel, entitled Women's Scholarship Endowment, which receives $60 million annually, or the Young Women Lead, which gets about $5 million annually, is going to women who, by the way, if you read the Inspector General's report, is telling you that the Taliban does not allow women to speak in public. Yet somehow you're believing, and American people are supposed to believe, that this money is going for the betterment of the women in Afghanistan. It is not. You are funding terrorism, and it's coming through USAID. And it's not just Afghanistan, because Pakistan's right next door.
All right, Rufai, this video resurfaced online once again. We're seeing how the conversation around U.S.-Nigeria relations continues to take unexpected turns, with a sitting congressman alleging that, American taxpayer dollars may have inadvertently funded the very terrorists that President Trump is now threatening to wipe out. Now, Trump is threatening to cut aid. In August, the U.S. State Department approved a possible $346 million in weapons sales to Nigeria to help improve security. And you're seeing that, before I take some tweets, Rufai, I'd like your comments. We're seeing that these videos are now coming up again. The question, or maybe the conspiracy theory, is that Trump is going to invade Nigeria, which is not what he's written in the tweet. By the way, in the tweet, he specifically stated that he's coming to wipe out the terrorists. And that's what we're doing, to state the facts. Conspiracy theories or even just analysis are not really what the comment is on the Truth Social. Rufai, your thoughts?
I knew this was going to happen. And you see, this is why Nigeria has never moved forward as a nation. It's a country of analysis paralysis. It's only in Nigeria you will see that the main substantive issue, that people are being killed needlessly in their country, is now left aside. This group will say, all of us are being killed. This group will say, oh, it's about this killing. This one will say, oh, it's about that. All of a sudden, everybody that was not saying anything before are now skewing narrative and propaganda. So an average Nigerian that is following the news cycle is confused today. Please, I am not a master of confusion. Let me clear your confusion. Let me clear your doubt. The problem is that Nigerian lives matter and Nigerians are being killed.
Yes.
So how can we solve the problem? Because the politicians that are talking all of this today, the same people shamelessly push religion and tribe when it's politics period. So now they will confuse you with this narrative. All we are asking, President Tinubu, stop the killings in the country. You blame Jonathan for the killing. And why I'm saying this is because the buck stops with you. Let's stop deceiving people. That propaganda too, a lot of Russian propaganda is coming in. That video has
propaganda, the Scott Perry.
It's been coming in for a while. There is where if you have a proof, empirical proof, show me.
You mean Scott Perry?
Yes.
I mean Scott Perry.
Allusion is no way.
Yes. Well.
Show me. Just like when some people tie the Christian genocide conversation to IPOB. I told you it's not baked in empiricism.
All right.
Let's stop all of this.
All right.
Nigerians are dying. We want the killing to stop.
Right. That's really what it is. Let me just take some more tweets, some more reactions. You talked about politicians now speaking up and religious leaders. Rabiu Kwankwaso of the NNPP also posted a tweet on X. He wrote, "It is important to emphasize that our country is a sovereign nation whose people face different threats from outlaws across the country. The insecurity we face does not distinguish based on religious, ethnic, or political beliefs. The United States should assist the Nigerian authorities with better cutting-edge technology to tackle these problems rather than posing a threat that could further polarize our country. The Nigerian government should also consider appointing special envoys from its distinguished diplomats to engage the American government. Additionally, it is necessary to appoint permanent ambassadors to represent Nigeria's interests on the international stage. My fellow countrymen, this is an important moment where we should emphasize unity of belonging over division. God bless Nigeria." And for me, this is the most important tweet I have read so far. The Nigerian government have to find a way to collaborate with the United States to tackle this menace of insecurity. I've seen videos, Muslim worshippers being killed, Christian worshippers being killed. Our people are being kidnapped. Insecurity is the main problem at this point. And this defense mechanism of, oh, Christians are not being killed, or whether Muslims are also being killed, it's completely unnecessary. And my final tweet right now is from Mike Arnold, who wrote, "To my Nigerian friends, here's a vital insight into Trump's foreign policy. There is no invasion or occupation of Nigeria coming, just a quick surgical removal of the cancer." And that really is the point. That's what the tweet has been put out there. We should tackle what Trump has said. Not conspiracy theories, not analysis. Just go straight to the point. Yes. What can you do to help us? The United States. How can you help us? This is the main point at this point. But we've seen, propaganda from other places, from the presidency saying the president is going to meet with President Tinubu. At this point, no meeting has been confirmed. Yeah. I'm sure that in the coming weeks, we will see that the president of Nigeria, who is our father, the father of the nation, will find ways to solve this problem to make sure that we don't have war in Nigeria.
Good point, Oji.
I'd love to thank you all. I wish really we had enough time for this story. We had other milestone stories, but I hope we take that tomorrow.